All right, well, the first thing we need to do is discuss with you the principle of multiple universes. So we saw that there's a hierarchy principle, right? Now, if the hierarchy principle applies with creation, it must also apply to universes. And remember, the way I've drawn to you in the past is things like the spheres. So you have the Earth, and then you have, remember, we've sphere 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? We've got all these spheres. Well, can you see in a way they are hierarchical places of existence? Can you see that? But they all are contained within one single physical universe. So here's the physical universe, right? And here's the Earth existing. Of course, it's not into scale, right? And then we've got the spheres that revolve around the Earth, which don't physically revolve around the Earth, but they are linked to the Earth in terms of places of progression and delineated or separated by love. And love creates this interstellar boundary between each sphere. So between the first sphere, you could draw this first sphere like a little slice of an orange, and the second sphere like a slice of an orange too, that's larger than first and contains the first, but it's like a slice of orange. Then there's an interstellar boundary between the two, which is a condition of love and so forth. And these boundaries keep going around the Earth, and there are actually 35 of them around our Earth. So if we drew 35 of them around this Earth, right? There we go. There's our Earth, right? And that's contained within the physical universe. And then there are some other Earths, which also have the same number of spheres, interstellar boundaries around that, right? And then you have another Earth, same goes, right? And another Earth, let's get it up here and cluster it. And another Earth, imagine all the spheres around that as well. And they are all contained within one single universe. Right? Then we have a wrapper of this universe, which I'll draw in purple, which are the laws that govern it. So they are the laws, and this is the actual physical universe, which includes the spheres around each Earth. And there's, I think, from memory, 5 or 6 of them, one of the two. So we have, and that's contained within the physical universe, that if you could go out into space as far as you could go, eventually you'd find some other Earths. Does that make sense? Yep. And there's an interstellar boundary between them, and none of them meet, actually, right up to the 35th sphere. They don't meet at all. They're still separated by boundaries, and the boundaries are only able to be traversed, I suppose you could call it, through your condition of love. Then we have a soul universe that contains all of that. And the soul universe is where all the souls are, including yours right now. Now, I'm representing this in a two-dimensional form, but it's actually multi-dimensional, 36 dimensions at this stage. So to draw it in a multi-dimensional form, it actually is one inside of the other, really, and in fact, they even contain the same space, but in a different dimension, right? But it gets pretty complicated mathematically. I think the fastest supercomputer on Earth at the moment can calculate the existence of 13 dimensions. But beyond that, I don't think we have any computer on Earth that can actually calculate mathematically whether a 14th dimension actually exists or not. Right? But anyway, we have the soul, which is in the unified state, although for all of those people in this condition, right up to the time they make a transition of awareness into this state, the soul is basically in a, you could say, a sort of a separator state, isn't it? Where the awareness separates the two halves. And once you make the transition into this state, you become aware. But there are other souls here, of course, which is your soul right now, in an unaware state, and there's newly incarnated souls. I suppose you could draw them a little smaller, couldn't you, because they're not yet developed, but they are in an unincarnated state. They're yet to even perceive their own existence. So many only perceive their own existence as a half, and then there's some, the red one I've drawn there, that eventually you would get to the stage where, and let's draw it as a blue one, where we completely perceive our own existence as a whole. And interestingly enough, that soul's power, conceiving itself as a whole, is able to control absolutely everything in this universe. Right? That's how much power it has. Right? So that's... But it only has that power in an aware state. And it only has that power because it's received God's love. Right? So now we can see there's hierarchical universes. There's even hierarchical spheres, is there not? And hierarchical universes containing multiple universes of a lower hierarchical type. And then we've got a physical universe, is the area of this boundary, the physical, that contains all of the physical and the metaphysical. If you think of it this way, it is where the half of a soul needs bodies to experience itself. So this universe had to be created by God to allow for bodies to exist in it that could be connected to the soul, so that the half of the soul in an unaware state is able to experience itself. Make sense? Yep. So that's that. And then the soul universe, which is a current highest known universe at this stage, is the human-based hierarchical universe that is perceived by the soul senses in a soul union condition, where the two halves are fully aware, fully self-aware. Make sense to you so far? Yep. So of course, who knows what this soul can do after that? This soul potentially could expand and create other hierarchical universes. Or it could be that we create, like there might be a whole series of spheres in this universe that get created, only to find out that the soul is not the highest creation. But rather there might be some other part of us that we've not yet become aware of that might be the highest creation. We don't know really, do we? Right? So it's only a process of discovery that's going to make us aware of that. So you could say that this truth is only the truth at the moment. Make sense to you?